Alrighty folks, coming at you guys today with a version 1.4 tier list. Before we hop directly into the tier list, we're going to stop by here on the Omeda City Heroes page, linked below. You've heard me talk about this one before. This is where we get all of our win rate and pick rate statistics from. Wanted to look over some stuff on this before we dive directly into the tier list. We'll try to keep this brief here. Just wanted to show you guys what we're looking at in 1.4, what the numbers say versus what people's opinions say, because I can tell you, hey, this hero's strong, hey, this hero's weak, but at the end of the day, if I'm telling you a hero's strong and they have a below 50% win rate, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm wrong. I mean, it may mean that the hero's hard to play, it may mean this, it may mean that. Just take everything with a grain of salt. Don't watch these other guys' tier list videos and hear them say, hey, this hero's weak and it's your favorite hero to play, and then you stop playing them. Play the game how you want. At the end of the day, the goal is to have fun. But let's look at some win rate and pick rate statistics and see how the meta has actually balanced out. Post version 1.4, come on to Omeda City/Heroes, linked below like I said, and check out these statistics for yourself. Ton of helpful information on here, as well as builds and all sorts of other stuff to look through. But let's take a look at win rates and pick rates since the patch. First off, you have this PvP setting. This is, including standard and everything. And then you can sort by win rate, pick rate, all that. First off, across all game modes, across all ranks and everything, the highest win rate heroes right now are Rampage, Grux, and Boris actually up here, which is kind of surprising. Aurora, Faye, and then it's kind of dropping off, but the main ones we're looking at here are Rampage and Grux with the ridiculously high win rates. Anything over 55% is kind of insane as far as win rates go. We really don't see many heroes above that the majority of the time. If we look at the bottom, we're seeing Fang Mao, Terra, Kalari, Zarus Crunch is kind of interesting as heroes that are below 45. Some of these heroes, like I said, take this with a grain of salt. Fang Mao being the bottom win rate hero does not mean that Fang Mao is terrible. It may mean that he's hard to use. His base kit did get significantly worse in this patch with losing the true health shield and his hamstring getting cut into 2 damage instances. Definitely makes him harder to get good value with and harder to win in the solo lane with. Terra, again, they nerfed her 13 times in a row, so not surprising that the slight damage buffs that she got in this patch didn't excel her up into a really high point. Her CC immunity is still really valuable, but not enough to get her consistent win rates. And then Kalari, of course, is a hero that's hard to use. But this is just in PvP. Really, we want to look at ranked. It's where we can find some more helpful information. Also, come in here and you can sort by what rank you are. If you play in gold, you can come look at gold, or preferably look in plat and take a look at what win rates are heroes in the next rank above you performing at, and which heroes you should potentially try to get better with if you want to excel into the next rank. Generally, I look at plat, diamond, paragon, sometimes gold, and sometimes all rank to kind of discern win rate and pick rates and what that implies for how strong these heroes are. If we look across all ranks first, we can see again Rampage, Grux, clear overperformers right now. If you're looking at all rank like this, you have the largest match pool to pull from, the largest data set, which is just all matches being played in ranked, and you can see that even in that data set, Rampage, Grux, very clear overperformers. These are heroes that definitely are fundamentally too strong with their kit right now and definitely deserve nerfs. Faye up here and Howitzer mids in general are pretty strong, so not too surprising to see them have that high of a win rate. Steel, a very high win rate with a very high pick rate as well, because he's getting picked in multiple roles, performing well in them with his absurdly strong passive. And then it kind of drops off. With a big data set like this, you would expect to see a lot of heroes around 50-50 because just so many games are getting played. And this covers all skill ranges. If we again look at the bottom, Fang Mao, Terra, Zarus, Crunch, Argus, not surprising to see down here. Kind of surprising to see Crunch down here. Didn't really get like significant nerfs, does more damage now for sure. But it has a shorter range dash, so maybe that's understandable. And again, just a couple standouts here that are really below the 50-50 win rate, you know, with Fang Maltera, Zaris, Crunch, Argus all being below 45. So if you want to look, you know, we could look at this and say, okay, you know, here's the gold stats, okay, you know, this hero has the highest win rate, so it must be a broken hero, right? This hero's crazy strong. Oh, you know, this hero is the lowest win rate, she must be terrible. Really, there are skill issues involved in these lower ranks. If we go look at Paragon, we can get an idea of how strong are these heroes' kits fundamentally separate from the skill required to play them. So, you know, most Paragon players are going to be at least well-rounded or at least confident in the heroes that they're taking into Paragon level matches. If we look at the highest win rates, again we see Rampage. The fact that we see Rampage as a top win rate across almost every rank is a clear indicator that he is absurdly strong from a fundamental standpoint, as well as easy to play. You can see heroes up here like Wraith who have a very high win rate in Paragon, that you will not see have a high win rate in lower ranks. That is an indicator that his kit is fundamentally strong or potentially overtuned, but he may be difficult to play, therefore you see him with a high win rate here, but not in the lower ranks. So that's some stuff to keep in mind. Come onto Omeda City Heroes and look at it for yourself. Up here in Paragon we see Grim having a high win rate, Yin, Skylar, Aurora having a pretty high win rate. Muriel, again, pretty high win rate. Kalari, a higher win rate in this kind of tier than you're going to see in some of the lower tiers because she is hard to use. And then if you look at the bottom win rates, in Paragon, the bottom win rate level heroes are generally the heroes that are easiest to counter. Maybe not easiest to counter, but most counterable. If you have the skill level to counter these heroes, they can get shut down easy. So we're seeing Morn, we're seeing Sereth. If people are playing around a Morn Mez at a high level, they can shut him down. If people are playing around Sereth's invulnerability with her little teleport multi-hit, you can play around her and beat her confidently. Decker, kind of surprising to see with this low of a win rate. Decker has always been a hero that can give you good value with the cage. This may be a situation where people are playing around the Decker and holding their blinks for her. FaZe and Iggy, Drongo actually having a surprisingly low win rate in Paragon. He did get nerfed pretty significantly in this patch. Argus kind of down here, Crunch, Fang Mao down here. So that's what we're seeing. Hop in here and look through this stuff for yourself. I could talk about these statistics all day, but we need to get into the tier list itself. So let's hop over to that, give my opinions, give you guys the tiers, and how we're going to break it down. Notice how, one thing I do want to mention before we leave this, is notice how any rank I look through, here's Paragon, look at these top win rate heroes. Here's Diamond. Let's take a look at the top win rate heroes. Okay. A lot of the same, a little bit different ones. Let's look at Gold. Let's look at top win rates. Okay, a lot of the same, so Muriel up here for sure, Gideon, Kira. Okay. And then we'll look at all rank here. Again, you know, Faye, Howie, Steel, Muriel very strong now with the armor changes. And then quickly we reach the 50% threshold. Now look at where Countess is. Would you say that Countess is brokenly overpowered in this patch? I think most people would, right? Her passive is absurdly strong. Her kit is pretty crazy now, having basically a Fang Mao teleport in it. Take a look at that win rate percentage. That makes you think, doesn't it? 48, nearly 49% win rate on a hero that's as overpowered as Countess. Makes you think, take everything with a grain of salt. Don't let some content creator tell you that your hero that you like to play is trash. Play who you want to play, get good with who you want to get good with. Just keep in mind that Omeda City Heroes page does have these win statistics with huge match volume to pull from. So on average, these are the heroes that are winning the most games. You can infer what you want from that. Let's hop into the tier list. Alrighty, so let's hop right here into the tier list itself. I'm going to go through here and break down the tiers first. We've done a little bit of different formatting with the tiers, and then we're going to go through the tier list itself alphabetically. Feel free to skip to the end here if you want to go ahead and leave some comments about what heroes you think I placed wrong. You know, argue with me about the fact that I placed your hero too low, or that I placed a hero that you think is terrible too high. But let's go through it here. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion, so you're welcome to have different opinions. A lot of the meta is formed around what the consensus opinion is of the player base. So, you know, don't let me discourage you from playing your favorite hero by any means. And don't take my word as the solid truth. I'm just giving you my opinion. I've played 70 plus games on the patch already, played against almost every, well, definitely played against every hero, and played with almost every hero so far. Come check us out on the streams. We've been having a great time. Let's get into it here. I formatted as S tier will be nerfed. These are heroes that I'm predicting will be nerfed in the upcoming patch. 1.4 was a massive patch, and a balanced patch should be right around the corner. So these are just predictions on heroes that I think are so strong or are getting so much community outcry that they have to be nerfed. F tier, conversely, is heroes that will be buffed. These are heroes that the community is complaining are too weak right now, or that are underperforming off of statistics or getting picked less, and just heroes that I think Omeda are going to look at as buffing. And then in between, we've got A through D tier of top picker bans, usually strong, comp dependent, and then D+, which is weaker or skill dependent. So I put D+ because these heroes generally are weaker or underperforming statistically, but are skill dependent, so if you're good enough with them, you can still have good performances with them. Some of them have higher win rates in Paragon tier, and that is a good indicator that the hero may be difficult to play, but still not extremely weak, and just skill dependent overall. So let's hop right into it. Like I said, feel free to skip to the end, leave your comments about where I got things wrong. I will be doing an updated tier list, probably not before we get a balance patch, because I'm expecting the balance patch pretty soon, but we'll do an updated one following the balance patch, and we may start with this tier list as the base. So leave as many comments as you want, let me know where I should be moving these heroes around, because I do take them into account and I do respond to just about all of them. So let's get into it. Argus, I think he's definitely weaker right now. I think this, honestly, he will be nerfed, or he will be buffed, because I have not really yet seen an Argus do exceptionally well on this patch. It seems like his mana consumption, mana economy is completely cooked. You can't stay in lane with him very long and get much out of him. You used to be able to have consistent damage output and good objective secure and stuff like that. Still has a really strong ult and stuff, like good range, good support options for your team, but his mana economy is cooked. He needs a buff at least to his mana costs to make him more of a viable mid laner, because almost every other mid laner right now can stay in lane longer, clear more often, rotate quicker, and he just doesn't have that option with his mana economy. Aurora, I think, is realistically a top picker ban. You're going to see her picked a lot across all ranks, having a high win rate at nearly every rank, all the way up to Paragon right now. A strong hero that forces the other team to play around her ult. They have to hold their cleanses. Her blink into ult is a lot stronger. Her wall is still very strong. Her clear is very fast still. Just a strong hero overall. Fundamentally an easy hero to play and get good value with, and that's why she's performing well across all ranks. You're probably not going to see her banned. You used to see her banned a lot in like gold and stuff, but I don't know if you are anymore. Belica. I think Belica is usually strong still. She's not, doesn't seem quite as insane as she was before, but still has really good late game potential. The knock-up can still just win team fights. Her auto attacks now are crazy. Her silence on her ult gives her a lot more options for shutting down enemies. Enemy carries in team fights or junglers, but also 1v1ing in the mid lane itself. Just almost always a strong hero. Does take a little bit to get rolling, but is very good late game still. Boris, he's going to get nerfed. It's, nothing about Boris, nothing against Boris, I should say. He doesn't have an absurd win rate right now. He, of course, has an absurd pick rate because everybody's trying him out, but the bottom line is every hero gets nerfed after they get released. This is the most recently released hero, and he will be getting nerfed, just like the last 10 heroes that got released got nerfed the following patch. They like to release heroes strong and nerf them rather than release heroes weak and buff them. So expect Boris to get nerfed. It'll probably be pretty minimal nerfs unless people just start getting really good at playing him. He is kind of harder to play than you would assume, just watching him play. So he's going to be getting nerfed. It's not like it's my opinion, that's just a fact. He's going to be getting nerfed, but don't expect it to be a major nerf. He's not overperforming at an insane amount. Countess, again, like I talked about in the intro, if you skipped it, Countess does not even have a 50% win rate right now. So it is hard to say, hey, this hero is just so absurdly broken. You're winning every single game that your team takes a Countess. Oh my gosh, she's insane. You will hear people say that. Her passive is fundamentally overpowered. There's no way, I don't know how they thought her passive was going to be even remotely balanced. Her passive is absurd. And she will be getting nerfed because the community has been in an outcry about it, and she has been getting banned almost in, I guess, every single ranked game, right? She's been banned since the patch because she is absurdly strong, but take that with a grain of salt. You've got me and you've got other content creators saying, this hero's broken, this hero's ridiculous. Meanwhile, sub 50% win rate. So take that for what you will. She is strong, she will be getting nerfed, but hey, you don't get a free win for having a Countess on your team. You still got to perform with her. Crunch. I'm actually going to say Crunch is comp dependent right now. He is usually strong. I think it's probably borderline into the B tier because he still does offer you a lot. Tanks are very good right now, and building tank items on him does work very well right now. Still a great CC, good chase down even though his dash is shorter. Still does great damage, but can lose some 1v1s in solo lane because he's got to get to level 6 before he gets online. Still really strong in the jungle, but the same thing applies. A lot of the times you'd like to have a jungler that has more presence pre-level 6 that Crunch just can't provide for you right now. So still a really strong hero in the right hands. Takes a little bit of getting used to get good with him. Better in jungle than he is in solo. Still provides a lot to the team, but kind of comp dependent. Definitely take him in solo if you want somebody with good CC potential, if you're kind of lacking that elsewhere on your team. Decker, not a top picker ban. I wouldn't say she's really a top 3 support anymore. Tanks are really more favorable right now. And she does not play that tank role, but you always get good value out of a Decker. A long range stun, the cage is still really strong, good early pressure, good mobility, kind of a fringe top 4-ish, top 5-ish support. Always has been, always will be until they nerf her cage. If you're good with Decker, you can have an impact on almost every game, but she's not absolutely insane, or you're never going to see her banned or anything like that. And you're not going to see her picked in every game because so many people are picking tank supports right now. Drongo, I'm going to actually drop Drongo in comp dependent. Hard to make an argument for him right now as a top 3, even 4, maybe even 5 carry right now. They hit him with the nerfs a little too hard. Still offers you a lot, still gives you a silence out of the carry role, which can be very good if you're good with him. Still gives you the mobility of knocking himself back with the ult if you jump first. You got to remember to jump first now. His rad rounds aren't as strong, but still a good carry. I think most of the carries are pretty tight in win rate right now anyway, so if you're good with him, you're good with him. But we're seeing him perform as the worst carry in the Paragon tier, and it is understandable they nerfed him a little bit too much, I think. Feng Mao, his passive is fundamentally strong, right? His passive is fundamentally strong. If you're good enough to get those 5 kills, 1 on every enemy early, he's probably going to carry you into the late game and win you the game, but he is underperforming pretty significantly right now. We're going to put him in will be buffed, actually, because I have a feeling that they don't like seeing a hero that they showed off in the version 1.4 reveal that they made big reworks to do poorly. I think they want the heroes that they reworked to do well, and I think there's a lot of people at Omeda that like playing him, so I think he will be buffed in some way. He's just harder to use now without the health shield, with the hamstring doing 2 hits. He really doesn't win a lot of solo matchups in the 1v1. He is incredible in all 1v1s late game, but you've got to... He's not as easy to build Bruiser on anymore. You kind of have to build Assassin Fang Mao. And, you know, he is kind of hard to shut down, but I think he will be buffed regardless. Maybe slight buffs to him because he is underperforming at nearly every rank right now. The Fae... you're not going to see her banned, but realistically a top pick, right? A good Fae is really hard to deal with. She's safer now with a move speed boost and a massive hitbox on her Brambles. Her Nettles is just super consistent poke. Really short cooldown now, just spammable poke. Like a lot of more pressure in 1v1s if you're hitting that poke than any other mid laner. Even Howie cannot compete with that level of poke that she provides. The ult is a little bit harder to hit, but still very strong. Just a good hero. Just a really good hero right now. Good build options on her. You're not going to see her banned ever, but be afraid and respect the enemy Fae that is good, for sure. Gadget. I'm going to say usually strong. Kind of getting close to the borderline. I think stronger than Bellica late game. Both of these are very late game mages. I think Gadget is just the best tank killer right now. Gadget with her ult. And she does have consistent poke, and she will scale up to an absurd power number late game. But she takes a little bit of cooldowns to get online. If the enemy mid laner is really good at dodging the hats, or you're really bad at throwing the hats, they're just going to beat you in the poke battle. Still an incredibly strong hero late game. Definitely borderline to A tier, but and very safe because you can play so far back. That's kind of a conflicting one, but I don't think she really quite cracks it up into the top 2 mid laners, which is really all that's going to hit the A tier probably. Gideon, right there with her. I kind of want to put him up in top picker bans, but you're not going to see him picked in every single game, and you're never going to see him banned. Just a really safe hero, again, similar to Gadget. The ult's a lot stronger now. Provides good pressure from range, good DPS for sure, a strong root on his passive now. Almost always a strong pick, right? Just easy to play, easy to get good value with. Greystone, I doubt he'll be buffed. It seems like they never really give Greystone that much respect, maybe slight buffs. I think we'll put him in weaker and skill dependent. I did put out a video last week where I was playing Skylar carry, and we had a Greystone jungle, and he went absolutely off and nuked the enemy team. Nuke Stone in full effect with crit Greystone out of jungle. Very much possible to carry games with Greystone. Stronger kit than he had before, with the movement speed added on him hitting his jump on people, with the big attack instead of the 3 auto attack stem that he has, being strong for slows, has better range, can crit, and his ult hits hard. I don't know, he's for sure weaker now, but you can still carry games with him. Still can bully in a lot of 1v1 matchups early because his clear is so strong and his early damage is so strong. Grim, I think, it's kind of a prediction, I think Grim is going to pan out to be one of the stronger carries on this patch, depending on what nerfs he potentially gets following the balance patch. This hero can feel really oppressive once it gets rolling. Takes a little bit longer to get online than some of the other carries, but his assault mode and sentry mode switch are both really strong now. Sentry mode giving him attack speed, stacking, and mana recovery, and assault mode giving him area damage and huge damage bursts. Really strong carry right now. Brings you that magical damage to the carry roll that you can't get anywhere else. Good build options, whether you're going crit or whether you're going full attack speed, prophecy, magic build. Both of them can be viable. I think he's going to pan out to be a top 3 carry on this patch. And if you get good enough with the shield, he can still play relatively safely. Grux, Grux should be nerfed. Here's what I'm going to say about Grux. Grux should be nerfed, and I would say will be nerfed. But the problem is, Grux should have been nerfed about 10 different times already in patches that came and went when he was overpowered before the patch and overpowered after the patch. So, I'm going to put him in top picker ban at the top of A tier because yes, he should be nerfed, but I've seen them not nerf him too many times to where I'm not confident to say that he will be nerfed. There's somebody at Omeda who likes playing this hero and likes that his bleed is overpowered and likes that he wins the lane for you in solo, likes that he clears fast in jungle, likes that he has absurd healing, so they make sure he still has all that stuff and is overpowered. He's always been overpowered, and I think he always will be, so we're not going to claim that he will be nerfed, but keep in mind he should be. Howie, I think it's got to go right up here with Faye. Yeah, I got to go right up here with Faye. Honestly, kind of want to put both of them above Aurora too. Just really strong mid laners right now. Good poke potential on Faye. Good one-shot potential with the ult. The ult hits absurdly hard now, especially when you have like Overseer up and stuff like that. The ult can one-shot carries, one-shot enemy mids, if you land it all on them. Just a really strong hero. Good poke, good damage, good scaling. Everything you like to see. Get good with the knockback mine, and you can carry games with Howie for sure. Iggy. Iggy is usually strong, does not boast an insane win rate right now to back that. I think we're definitely right up here with Gadget. I mean, realistically, Iggy's going to get nerfed because I don't think they like Iggy being as strong as he is right now. We'll put him up here with Gideon, Gadget, and Bellica. In my opinion, he's honestly kind of stronger than him, but then I'm kind of biased towards Iggy. He will be getting nerfed because people are complaining that he's too strong. I think he's fine, of course, because I like playing Iggy, but keep in mind the turrets do absurd damage, good objective secure, good safety, can play solo lane well. Just a strong mid laner right now, a strong mage right now, definitely competes with Gideon, Gadget, and Bellica in almost every matchup. Kallari. I think Kallari is still the definition of skill dependent. This is very much a D+ scenario because I have seen Kallari's carry games. The kit is definitely better than it was before with the mark being moved to a passive and the jump being added. The jump is very good for jumping back on people that you've almost finished and you just need to finish them off. The jump can get you onto them and help you finish them. Very strong kit now. Skill dependent. You see her perform well in the high ranks, but poorly in the low ranks, so that's where she's got to be. She's kind of always fit that role. Tanks are also favorable right now, and she does have a hard time one-shotting a tank or anything like that, so depending on your team comp, she can be very good for you. Depending on your skill level, she can be very good for you, but not always like an insane pick. Definitely never going to see her banned. Chimera. I think Chimera is usually strong. He's not necessarily a top picker ban. He's not necessarily top performing jungler across all ranks as he once was, but still a very strong hero. It gives you good objective secure options. Gives you the niche role of being able to solo a lot of objectives, him and Boris, of course. Kind of tempted to put him towards the top of B, but I don't know how we really break up these mid laners. I think maybe we do break up these mid laners. I think Gadget and Gideon are kind of set a little bit above Iggy and Bellica the majority of the time, but you could be exceptionally good with any of those mid laners and carry games. Chimera, just a strong hero overall, still gives you a lot as a team. Still kind of just a jump in and ult people bot late game, but hey, if he's tanky and he's doing that, he still gives you good value. Kira. She recently actually got disabled because there was some bug occurring with her. I think she is kind of a top picker ban. You see her performing as the highest win rate hero in the upper ranks. Her passive is a lot stronger. Her dash resetting is quite strong. Her ult still is completely useless except for clearing minion waves, but hey, at least it's got that. Just a strong hero. They made her passive absurdly strong, and they wanted to make her overpowered because they showed her off in the reveal. And she was the only carry they showed off, so not surprising. You probably won't ever see her banned unless there is a bug going on with her because no carries really ever get banned. She'll probably be here towards the bottom of A tier because I think most carries are kind of even. Most people would probably say she's better than Grim. I kind of would prefer Grim over her because Kira is not for me. But I think they're right there next to each other, competing for the top 2 or 3 carry spots for sure. Quang. Still very good, not seeing him very much this patch, to be honest with you. I think he is usually strong. I think we'll put him up here with Crunch. I think it's a similar scenario to Crunch. Quang doesn't really lose as many 1v1s in solo lane as Crunch does because he has that shield and he has a dash that's on a shorter cooldown. And he has crazy attack speed now. Actually, I think I've seen more Quangs do good than I've seen Quangs do bad, so we'll put him in the usually strong. Kind of borderline, can get countered, can get shut down if you stay on top of him early. But still a really good hero. Not quite offering you as much consistency as Aurora, but his sword throw is easier to hit now, so he is almost always strong. Morgesh, she is going to get nerfed, right? She has to get nerfed, but she's not performing exceptionally well. She needs to get nerfed, though. Like, for sure she has to get nerfed. But she may not. We're going to put her... I mean, she's never going to get banned. We're going to put her at the top of usually strong. I think when people get used to playing around her, maybe she'll fall off a little bit. Right now, she is really strong and performing well. Absurd healing. The healing is going to get nerfed, like it has to. But I don't think really, like, more of a scary threat in most games than seeing a Gideon Gadget, Belica, you know. Definitely not as consistently strong as Faye and Howie, especially at the top level. She's really weak. So we'll put her in usually strong. I actually kind of like want to put her behind Gadget, maybe. Just because she doesn't offer a stun or CC or root or anything like that you're getting from all of these upper level mid laners right now. Even Belica offering better CC potential kind of makes me want to slide Belica up here. I think we'll do that. That is just my opinion. I think that's how we'll shift it around, because Iggy and Morgesh can struggle with consistent CC, while these guys and the upper tier mages have really strong CC that's helping in almost every team fight. Morn we've got to put in weaker and skill dependent. Not really the type of hero that's doing well right now. I mean, it is the type of hero that's doing well, but he's just getting out-competed by his competition. You've got Richter with a better pull and just a better kit overall. You've got Narbash with better healing and still a good ranged stun. He can still offer you a lot if you're good with him. I've had some good Morn games recently, and I've been testing out different builds on Morn because I saw that he was underperforming, and I want to see, you know, hey, can we come up with something that makes him perform a little bit more consistently and benefit the team? He does benefit the team a lot by proccing all of the healing items on all your whole team at once, you know, your Crystal Tear, your Everbloom, and stuff like that. Tainted Totem goes insane on him. But I think getting kind of out-competed by the Narbashes, the Richters, the Steels, and all those type of guys. Murdoch, still a strong hero, potential to be into the pick or ban tier, but he's really never going to get pick or banned. I've had really good games with him. He's just really safe, really consistent. We'll put him near the top of B. Just a strong hero. The ult is a lot harder to hit now. Harder to get good value with like you used to be able to because it has a longer load up. But still a strong hero. The movement speed boost is insane on him. Muriel, a really strong support right now. On one hand, she's comp dependent. On the other hand, she should be picked in the majority of ranked games. I mean, I think we have to put her up here. She's really strong, like really high win rate in Paragon. The changes to how shields work and now that armor applies to them really benefits her. Consistently procs all of the shield and healed items since she has 2 abilities plus her ult that applies shields. Her ult is, of course, a universal ult, so she has great mobility around the map. Just a really strong hero. Good early game pressure, too, with her passive and auto attack damage. One of the stronger supports. If you're not taking a tank support, I would definitely recommend her as one of your better options. You do have to kind of get good with her, but she is a little bit easier to use now with her movement speed locking on to allies and autoing, guiding to them a little bit more. Narbash, quite strong. Quite strong, usually strong Narbash. I think we'll put him right outside these top mid laners. A good tank support, good damage mitigation on his ult, keeps him alive in fights, gives him really good CC value. He can blink an ult now, even better than he could before. If you're good with the thunk, you can keep your carry safe. Good team movement speed boost is really valuable right now. Gonna have top healed in every game that he plays pretty much, because his healing is quite strong now, with it getting ability haste, scaling. Just a good hero, playable in solo as well, playable in jungle if you want to troll. Just a fun hero to play and almost always strong. FaZe, I think FaZe, I mean realistically FaZe is kind of comp dependent, but I think she is really like usually strong. She doesn't have a very good win rate to back that right now. I think a lot of people just aren't used to playing her how she needs to be played on this patch. We'll put her at the top of comp dependent, but keep in mind, if in a couple weeks she's really strong, I will not be surprised if people get used to playing her better. Just tank supports are really more favorable, so she can't really compete. Doesn't really offer you as much as the Muriel most of the time. You do have to be good with FaZe as well to get the most out of her. But just a really strong kit, for sure a really strong kit. If you get good with FaZe, you can offer a lot to your team, but you need to have potentially your jungler and solo laner to be tanks to really make up for picking FaZe, because she can get blown up and called out. Ramp, absolutely overpowered, like absurdly overpowered. Top win rate at every ranked, 60+% win rate everywhere, is way too strong. It's got to be nerfed. His ult is just crazy. This man will tower dive you at level 6 and get both kills in duo lane. Like, it's absurd. The power that his ult provides. His rock now is really strong, coming out of the ground and throwing faster. Being able to slam dunk it on people's heads. Just an absurd hero. Has to get nerfed. The strongest hero in the game right now, in my opinion. Oh, but Countess. Countess is so broken. Countess is OP. She's the most broken hero in the game. This man's averaging at least 10% higher win rate at every rank than Countess. So, go argue with these stats on Omeda City with that one, and go ahead and leave the comment in the comment section here, saying that Countess is clearly the most broken, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, if I can see her break 50% win rate, then I'll agree with you. But right now, Ramp's just absurdly too strong. Rev, they kind of did him dirty. If you're good with Rev, he still offers you a lot with the root and with the movement speed boost, but not as easy to use. They ruined his options for tower diving with his ult. They ruined his magical build potential with reducing his magical scaling. Skill dependent. You can still carry games with him. Yeah, I mean, you can still carry games for sure with him, but it's just harder to use now, and more skill dependent than before. And he was already a pretty skill dependent carry in the first place. I don't think he'll be buffed. I think because there's still going to be enough people playing him really well to make him look good, but definitely very skill dependent. Richter, probably top of usually strong, right? Really fits the tank meta well. Definitely not pick or ban category. I think we'll put him... I think we'll honestly put him like near Narbash, slightly above Narbash. Richter still, one pull can decide the game, which is the whole idea of Richter. His Electrocute has a huge area now, and it is very strong, does a lot of damage. Can perform well in jungle if you can just hit a couple pulls. Can perform well in solo lane, really hard to 1v1 box with after he gets one item online. His ult's a little bit weaker because he can get stunned out of it, and he's a big target. But still like a almost always strong hero for sure. You don't even have to hit every pull to get good value with him. As you always hear me say, one pull is all it takes on Rick, and that stays true. So pick him, get good with him. He's good across all ranks, offers your team good value consistently. Sereth, I think she is weaker. Right now, I think she is very similar to Greystone in her actual kit strength, but we're going to put her in comp dependent because there are comps that Seraph just wins against. If you see them take a Sevarog in solo lane, you can respond by taking Seraph. If you see them take 3 tanks, you can respond by taking Seraph and just Sky Splitter melt people. Very good survivability and maneuverability, kind of beating out Greystone in those aspects with her ability to get away very easily and her ability to immune certain burst with her dash or her multi-hit ability. Now it makes her fully immune to damage like it should have always been. Kind of on the weaker end maybe of comp dependent, has a really poor win rate right now, but still can offer a lot to your team, still gives you carry potential in the late game as well. Her ult's still good, still builds Draconim well and all that. Sev seems really strong, honestly, with his passive after this patch. You're not really seeing him have a great win rate in most positions, but my goodness, if a Sev gets ahead, man, it's a serious problem. We're going to put him in usually strong, although he doesn't have the win rate to back it. I think he's right around Quang's level the majority of times. I mean, the majority of times he's above Quang's level. The majority of times he's like really up here. But you can get shut down with him if you're playing into like a Steel or another CC tank. He can really give you, that can give you trouble getting your stacks online. I have seen him a lot, and I have seen him do well a lot, so we'll put him up here with Chimera. A usually strong solo laner, potential jungler, kind of comp dependent, but at the same time, tanks are so good right now, you'd kind of always like to have him as an extra tank on your team, especially late game. Shinbi, we're going to put in comp dependent. Shinbi can struggle right now. I honestly think she may be below Seraph here even. No, she's not below Seraph. Shinbi just doesn't really offer you the CC that you want to see, doesn't offer you tankiness that you want to see out of your solo laner. Great split pusher, great team fighter for sure, with her ult now hitting everyone that has stacks on them is crazy. Not as good in the 1v1s because they did nerf the damage of her ult, but she can spam wolves, and the wolves do have a really big hitbox now, which gives you free clear in solo lane. Builds Orb of Growth well, scales well into the late game, split push as well. But definitely comp dependent. You want to have your comp who's willing to win their 4v4s on Fang and let her solo push and keep pressure in solo, and then eventually rotate into some team fights, secure some orbs, and dive the back line. But you need the comp to be ready for that, because tank Shinbi's kind of a troll right now. It's not really as good as it used to be. So that's just kind of where she has to set, in my opinion. Skylar, I think, is going to pan out to be one of the top carries in this patch. The best tank killing carry, right? Like, the beam destroys tanks quicker than any other carry can really manage. Carries, as I mentioned, are kind of tight in their win rates right now overall, but just an overall strong carry who you're going to consistently get good value with and be able to play safe with an ult that can snipe the other carry if you get them low. So strong, has high win rates right now as well. Sparrow, we're going to put her towards the bottom of usually strong. I think Sparrow is really good, does do consistent damage, deletes tanks with Sky Splitter. Her ult looks really cool and is really fun to use, but it's only really valuable against groups. Just doesn't really do that much in 1v1s like her old ult used to, where you could just hit her ult in a 1v1 and get a free win against the other carry. Doesn't really do that anymore. Doesn't give you the range boost and the mobility boost and all that stuff, but her slowdown arrows are insanely strong. So usually strong. We'll probably have her settle down towards the end of the usually strong tier. We don't have another carry in this tier right now, but Sparrow, good late game. I mean, we're actually pretty good early game now too. Kind of better all across the match. Just not a very impactful ult in most situations, at least in the 2v2 and duo lane. Steel, he will be nerfed, right? This hero's way too strong. I don't necessarily want to put him in the will be nerfed tier, but I think it's inescapable. I think he is getting nerfed. He is just too strong right now. Has an absurd pick rate and an absurd win rate because he's getting picked in support, solo, even jungle sometimes. His passive is way overtuned and is going to get nerfed because it makes him just like Sevrog levels of unkillable late game if you build 6 armor items on him, one of them being Stonewall. He's basically unkillable. Really consistent CC too, procs Dynamo with every one of his abilities except for the shield. And of course the shield is a unique ability anyway because it counters a lot of 2v2s in duo lane. So just a really strong hero right now. He's going to get nerfed, hopefully not too much, because I don't mind when steel is strong, but he's a little overtuned right now. I think we can all agree. Terra, she's going to get buffed. This is a atrociously bad hero right now. But, yes, she can immune CC for like 10 seconds with her ult. Yes, I could put her in the skill-dependent category, but she has like the worst win rate across every rank. I mean, this is a hero that is not winning games, doesn't win solo lane, doesn't perform well in jungle because you can't get her into gank positions fast enough in the early game. In theory, counters a lot of the meta because of her CC immunity, but just not performing well right now. I mean, I can't put a hero that has this bad of a win rate anywhere other than will be nerfed. Unless the Omeda team is just blind and aren't looking at these win rate statistics, she has got to get nerfed. I don't think she's the worst. I think Argus is probably the worst, right? She is borderline. You can have good games with her, but she needs a buff bad. The damage buffs that she received were not enough to get her anywhere. Twin, I've heard people saying he's one of the better carries, or even the best. That's not true. I hate to break it to you. He is fun to play. He can be strong. His ult is insane now. His ult is one of the best ults on any carry right now. I think we'll put him above Sparrow. I think we'll put him above Sparrow now. We'll see if we adjust him around later. Just a really fun, safe carry to play. Good slowdowns, good consistent poke. One of the stronger ults out of any carry. Does a ton of damage now with great range. So big fan of Twin. Been enjoying him a lot since the patch, but not a top 3 carry, I don't think. Right? You know, just an overall good carry. Wraith. Wraith is usually strong right now. I feel like he is somewhat comp dependent, but at the same time, if you're good enough with him, it doesn't really matter. He is skill dependent for sure. You have to be good with him. But he's a lot better than he was. He's a lot more consistent than he was. We'll put him at the top of D+, skill dependent. You have to be good with him. He is a harder hero to play. He doesn't win the game for you. You have to win the lane with him. And you can do that. The Knock has insane range and insane damage. Very consistent poke. You can outpoke almost any mid laner. Pick this into a Howie and just snipe his massive hitbox constantly and abuse him from basically outside of his missile range, and you'll do great. He can outpoke any 2v2 in duo lane aside from an enemy Wraith. Pretty safe with his invisibility now and his rewind being better. I mean, honestly, this is like a usually strong hero. You shouldn't really see him banned. You're not going to see him picked every game. But I've seen way more games where Wraith does well than where he does bad. But I think that's just because I play with a lot of pretty competent teammates. Man, this is a close one. It's either succumb to the fact that he is skill dependent, or acknowledge that I've seen more good Wraiths than bad Wraiths this patch. I'm trying to think, does he lose a lot of 1v1s in mid lane? I smashed a Wraith the other day with Faye. But he easily could have beat me if he was better. Because Wraith has that kit to do it. We're going to put him in usually strong. I don't want to disrespect the Wraith players out there. He is a very strong hero right now. He has a better kit. But keep in mind that the performance you're going to get with a Wraith can range from D tier to A tier, depending on how good they are with him. Pushing Rice, Mr. Gone. We've obviously seen him carry games, even on the old Wraith, and Wraith is even better now. Has a top 5 win rate in Paragon, so it shows that his kit has the potential. He's just not that easy to play. I think for that reason, we're going to have him stacked around Twin Sparrow, but that's a difficult hero to place. Yin is kind of the definition still of a skill-dependent hero. You'll see Yin have a high win rate at low ranks, but that's mostly Smurfs, I think, because she's just not a hero that's easy to get the value on her deflect with unless you're planning for it. Well, definitely comp dependent in some ways, because you want projectiles to deflect. If they don't have any, then you're not going to get any good value. I'm going to say very top of comp dependent. She is usually strong, but takes a little while to get online. And you really want to have a comp that she can play into with some projectiles to deflect. If you're against a comp that's got like, crunch phase like a Muriel maybe, those type of comps where they don't have really strong projectiles to deflect. If you're against a steel and stuff like that, you're just going to get shut down. I mean, like truly, you're just going to get shut down. So comp dependent for sure, but has a lot of upside. Has top picker ban A tier level upside if you're good with her. Zarus is a little bit weaker, I feel like, in this patch. I have not seen him getting played much or played to great effect. I think we'll put him right around Greystone. If you're good with Zarus, you can still scale up really well late game and carry people or carry your team with those Coliseum stacks from his ult. Still can dominate 1v1s in solo lane. Still can get off really good ganks in jungle. But they reduced the range on his poke with the spear a little bit. And he's a little bit weaker, I think, than most of the solo laners that you're probably... I think he loses a lot of 1v1s in solo lane. Like, he's going to lose against a Sev. He's going to lose against a Quang. He's going to lose... Yeah, I mean, he can lose against a Crunch, too, if the Crunch is good. Seraph, he probably beats a lot of the time, but she can fly out of his cage, so it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, he's still a decent hero. You can still play him well and get good value out of him, but I haven't seen him, overperforming. He actually has a pretty low win rate on this patch. And finally, Zinx. Zinx, I think we're going to put in usually strong, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna put Zinx in usually strong. Just has good early game pressure, really strong CC with the multi-hit stun, a unique ability in her ult which revives teammates. It can give you a ton of value in this tank meta if you're reviving your Rampage. He's about to go down, you revive your Rampage or something crazy like that. That's going to give you absurd value in team fights. If your carry gets dove, you can revive your carry. And it's got a little delay there, so by the time your carry gets back up, hopefully your team will be responded and in a position to deal with that. Of course, the other team's going to be trying to do the same, but still very strong. Offers good value. Kind of got nerfs, but still just has a unique niche in this meta and has a good win rate. Let's go through here and adjust where we want the ordering within the tiers, or if we want to move anybody around in tiers. Rampage is the most obviously getting nerfed, other than Boris, because Boris is the new hero, so he's getting nerfed. Count, and then Steel probably receiving the weakest nerfs of these heroes, because it's really just his passive that's making him insane right now. Grux deserves to be nerfed, has always deserved to be nerfed. I mean, cut his bleed damage in half. At the least, cut his bleed damage in half, and his max health and missing health healing, cut that in half too, honestly. He'll still be a strong hero, because the pull is insane. Deserves to be nerfed, but may not be, so we're going to put him at the top of A. Faye Howie, I think, are just really strong right now in this meta, and really consistent. Aurora, maybe not quite as strong, I would say. Well, at her role, very strong, right? Carries are all kind of close or packed together, so I'm fine with her being above them. Muriel deserves to be at the end of A tier, although she is very strong. You have to be good with her. And in lower ranks, you're probably seeing her have a pretty rough win rate. But in top ranks, she's the best support, so what are you going to do? Murdoch, I think, deserves to be up here. Really strong CC mid laners and mages. Good support tanks. Chimera still strong. Sev still strong. Iggy, Morgesh, kind of similar in strength. I like that. Twin Sparrow, Wraith, Quang. I think Zinx probably deserves to be more up here with Decker, maybe actually above Decker. Quang I like up here. Actually, I think we move these carries above Quang, because I just haven't seen a lot of Quangs this patch. Let me know if you've been seeing him in more of your games. I have not really seen him a lot. But he does still win solo lane matchups for sure. And his passive is better, so definitely a valuable hero, usually strong. That's why he's still in this tier. I am partial to Crunch. I would say Crunch is better than him. But the Crunch win rate is pretty poor right now, relatively. And less early game pressure than like a Quang. Quang can get on you from level 1 or level 2 and start hitting you hard. Crunch, you really got to get 6 before he's got his pressure. Yin is comp dependent tier. I think Crunch is kind of the most borderline on comp dependent, because he's almost not comp dependent, almost always strong, but just not quite. Yin, kind of similar territory. And then Drongo maybe a little bit above FaZe. But I wouldn't be surprised if FaZe picks it up a notch when people get better at playing her. Seraph, very comp dependent. Shinbi, very comp dependent. Skill dependent or weaker. I've seen less Zarus carry games. I've seen more Revs carry games, obviously. Morn's kind of bottom. I really wouldn't be surprised if Morn does get buffs, because he is performing so poorly. Greystone Kalari, I've seen both of them do well, but you gotta play him pretty sharp. And Rev, I still think has a lot of potential, actually. We'll put him above Zarus. Zarus is really not this weak to deserve to be this low down on the list, because he does offer you a lot. I just haven't been seeing him much either. Kind of similar to Quang, I really have not been seeing him much. I kind of want to... Yeah, I think we'll actually move Zarus up, because he is a lot more consistent than these heroes down here. He is comp dependent, but we'll put him at the bottom of comp dependent, just out of respect for like these guys down here. And then will be buffed. Feng Mao probably receiving some of the most minor buffs, but he should be buffed, unless people just get really good with him. Terra needs buffs, and Argus is really bad right now. So I think we're comfortable with this tier list. I will try to zoom out and fill the screen up with this tier list here. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what heroes I got wrong and placed incorrectly. Let me know your opinion about your favorite and least favorite heroes, or the heroes you think are the weakest in this patch. I will take all of that into effect when we're making the next tier list, which, like I said, will probably be post-balance patch. We will see as well when they announce the balance patch if my will be nerfed and will be buffed heroes receive the nerfs and buffs that they are due. They may not, you never know. A lot of it comes down to what heroes the Omeda team likes to play, which is, in my opinion, the reason Grux has been so overpowered for so long. It's just somebody on the Omeda team likes to play him and wants him to be overpowered, so that's cool. I mean, nothing against y'all, do that. He's just not for me, and I'm not going to play him because I am not a Marvel Rivals fan. But like I said, let me know what you think. Come out to the live streams, watch us play these heroes. Recommend some builds for me to try out, especially on these weaker heroes. Recommend some builds. Let me know what you're building on these heroes, because I will try it out. Or just stop by the stream and drop the comment while we're streaming, hey, try out this hero, here's the build. I'll do it on stream, and we can talk about how it goes. We can talk about the meta. We've been having a great time streaming. Like I said, played 60 plus, 70 plus games already on this patch, and it's just been awesome. I think this is one of the best patches we've got in a long time. The meta itself is not as unbalanced as I thought it was going to be going into it. I thought there was going to be more heroes brokenly strong or brokenly weak, and it's actually relatively tight. So shout out to Omeda. They've done an incredible job with this game. Great quality of life improvements. The voice chat is awesome. Great Discord partnership. I love the battle pass. This truly is the best state that we've ever had this game in. Most complete state. Ton of content. Love all of the skins that they're adding, the recolors, everything. Just this incredible game, incredible patch. the most fun I've been having on Pred in its entire life cycle, and happy to see the player base growing, as well as our community here at Goons Cove growing. So subscribe if you haven't and you've been enjoying the videos. Come out to the live streams if you want to talk to us live, recommend some builds to us, or queue some games with us. And just get ready for the balance patch, man. I'm looking forward to it. Keep enjoying this game while we've got it. Hopefully it stays around for a while. You know, Smite's going under. So it is a tough landscape to perform in, but that was a lot of yapping. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and we will catch y'all in the next one.